Hey guys, it's 1828. So today we're going to talk about the most important battle of the feudal Japan, which is the Battle of Sekigahara. So let's get going. The Battle of Sekigahara was a decisive battle on October 21st, 1600, in what is now Gifu Prefecture, Japan, at the end of the Sengoku period. The battle was fought by the forces of Tokugawa Ieyasu against a coalition of Toyotomi loyalist clans, several of which defected before or during battle, leading to Tokugawa victory. The Battle of Sekigahara was the largest and most important battle of Japanese feudal history and led to the establishment of Tokugawa shogunate. Battle. At dawn on October 21st, 1600, the Tokugawa advance guard stumbled into Ishida's army. Neither side saw each other because of the dense fog caused by the earlier rain. Both sides panicked and withdrew, but that resulted in both sides being aware of the adversary's presence. Ishida held his current defensive position, and Ieyasu deployed his own forces. He sent his own allies' forces in line to the front and held his own troops in reserve. Around 8 o'clock, wind blew away the fog and both sides noticed their respective adversaries' positions. Last-minute orders were issued and the battle began. The battle started with Fukushima Masanori, the leader of the Tokugawa advance guard, charged north from the Eastern Army's left flank along the Fuji River, against the Western Army's right center under Okita Hidei. The ground was still muddy from the previous day's rain, so the conflict there devolved into something more primal. Ieyasu then ordered attacks from his right and his center against the Western Army's left in order to support Fukushima's attack. This left the Western Army's center unscathed, so Ishida ordered his unit under the command of Shimazu Yoshihiro to reinforce his right flank. Shimazu refused as daimyo one of the day only listen to respected commanders, which Ishida was not. Fukushima's attack was slowly gaining ground, but this came at the cost of exposing their flank to attack from the Fuji River by Otani Yoshitsugu, who took advantage of this opportunity. Just past Otani's forces were those of Kobayakawa Hideaki on Mount Matsuo. Kobayaki Hideaki was one of the daimyo who had been courted by Tokugawa. Even though he had agreed to defect to Tokugawa's side, in the actual battle he was hesitant and remained neutral. As the battle grew more intense, Ieyasu finally ordered his arquebuses to fire at Kobayakawa's position on Mount Matsuo to force a choice. At that point, Kobayakawa joined the battle as a member of the Eastern Army. His forces charged Otani's position, which did not end well for Kobayakawa. Otani's forces had dry gunpowder, so they fired open on the turncoats, making the charge of 16,000 men almost ineffective. However, Otani's troops was already engaging forces under the command of Todo Takatora and Oda Yuraku when Kobayakawa charged. At this point, the buffer Otani established was outnumbered. Seeing this, the Western Army daimyos Wakisaka Yashuharu, Ogawa Soketada, Akasa Ieyasu, and Kotsuki Mochizuna switched sides, turning the tide of battle. The fall of the Western Army. Heavily outnumbered, Otani had no choice but to retreat. This left the Western Army's right flank wide open, so Fukushima and Kobayakawa began to roll it up. Thus, Ishida's right flank was destroyed and the center was being pushed back, so he retreated. Ishida's only remaining forces were in Mount Nangu. However, these forces was there for a reason. Kikawa Hiroi was one of the commanders on the mountain. Kikawa's troops formed the front lines of Mori Empire, which was commanded by his cousin, Mori Hidemoto. Earlier, when Hidemoto decided to attack on Tokugawa forces, Hiroi refused to comply, stating that he was busy eating and asked to be left alone. This in turn prevented the Chosokabe army, which deployed behind the Mori clan, from attacking. When Ishida arrived, Kikawa betrayed him as well. He kept Mori army at bay, and since Ishida had no more support, he was defeated. The Western army disintegrated afterwards, with the commanders scattering and fleeing. Some, like Okita Hidei, managed to escape at least initially. Many others did not. Shima Sakon was shot and fatally wounded by a round from arquebus, and Otani Yoshitsugu committed suicide. Ishida, Yukinagi, and Eki were some of those who were captured, and a few, like Shimazu Yoshihiro, were able to return to their home provinces. Mori Terumuto and his forces had remained entrenched at Osaka Castle rather than join the battle and later quietly surrendered to Tokugawa. Ishida himself was later executed. Late arrivals. Both sides had forces that did not arrive at Sekigahara in time to participate due to other battles. Ieyasu's son Hidetada led another group to Nakasendo. However, Hidetada's forces were bogged down as attempted to besiege Sanada Masayuki sued the castle against his father's direct orders. Even though Tokugawa forces numbered some 38,000, an overwhelming advantage over Sanada's more than 2,000, they were still unable to capture the famous strategist's well-defended position. At the same time, 15,000 Toyotomi troops were being held up by 500 troops under Hosokawa Yusai at Tanabe. At Tanabe Castle in present-day Maizuru, Kyoto Prefecture. Some among the 15,000 troops respected Hosokawa so much they intentionally slowed their pace. Due to these incidents, a large number of troops from both sides failed to show up in time for battle. If either of these armies participated in the conflict, it could have ended quite differently. Aftermath. The rise of Tokugawa shogunate. Following the public execution of Ishida Mitsunari, Konishi Yukinaga, and Ankokuji Eke, the influence and the reputation of Toyotomi clan and its remaining loyalists drastically decreased. Tokugawa Ieyasu redistributed the lands and the fiefs of the participants, generally rewarding those who assisted in displacing, punishing, or killing, and exiling those who fought against him. In doing so, he regained control of many former Toyotomi armies. And cut! That wraps up the video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you liked it, and if you don't like it, then, well, shut up. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.